live.
All right, good evening, everybody. Today is Monday. We're in March the 2nd, 2026, 7 p.m. Today's the X-rated version of the show as we are getting undressed with Dee. I just took my bra off. I'm trying to get into a top. And I just got home after being out since, roughly 9 a.m. today. Everything hurts. I'm taking my pants off. My pants are coming off right. Oh, no, wait. I got to get my shoes off first before I take my pants off.
Shoes usually need to come off before the pants.
Shoes first. I'm totally discombobulated. It wasn't a day from hell, but man, I fucked up bad today. First.
Oh, not as bad as Danny did. He missed his driver's license by one question.
Wait, you lost it again?
I don't know. We got all the way to the hospital, and I didn't have the paperwork.
Because, I've done that.
You know, this doctor is not in my network. So every other time, all my stuff is just automatically sent to the hospital. And the funny thing is I had it sitting right there to take with me.
Yep.
So we were there. So we had to come back home. We waited till Jake's appointment. We took Jake to his appointment. He ended up having to get his blood. Luckily they do it all in the same building.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God for that. They took blood out. They did an X-ray on him of his hand to see his growth plates, see what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then we made the fatal mistake. Well, then I went back up to the hospital then to get all of my testing done, pre-op testing. Then I said, we got more than enough time. Let's go switch the phones over.
You sound like one of my days.
Wait. I don't have my driver's license or my debit card.
Oh, my God. They gave you hell.
Oh, wait. We had to call Eric. Eric comes by. He gives me his driver's license, authorizes use, blah, blah, blah. They pull all the phones. They don't take checks.
What?
Yep.
Since when?
Well, they did do it. There was a way to do it using the hardlined computer, which
not the tablets that they use now.
Correct. They had to use the computer instead of their tablet. And I'm telling you, what we went through was worse than buying a car. I'm not lying. The paperwork, the documentation.
All to get cell phones.
All to get cell phones to move from one carrier to another. But the good news, no, I don't want any of that. You're going to have to go back over, dear. Yes, you are. For what I went through for you, you're going to go get me something.
I didn't tell you to go through that.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. Hey, we're live. Just so you don't care. You don't care. Thanks.
I'm laughing over here because that's too funny. It sounds like me and Danny today.
So now we're on the way. We get in the car and I went, oh no. I never asked about insurance on the phones.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always great.
Yeah. So all the phones are disabled. Every phone. And so
until you
4 lines
turn it
are
on.
Disabled. Yeah, 4 lines are disabled. And when I get done, I'll be busy. I'll be up till God knows when.
You know, it's funny. I've switched over from carriers before. Never had that headache.
Oh,
never.
Hey, we've been with Verizon for 31 years.
Yeah, but I've switched and never had to provide ID. All I had to do was pay for the shit. Oh, you want to switch? Okay. What's your name? Okay. What are you bringing your number over? Yep, this number.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
How
know
are you going
what?
to pay? Cash or credit?
You know what? Let's put this with these MFers that are bitching about ID, okay? About voter ID and the SAVE Act. With what I went through with these cell phones, tax ID numbers, social security numbers. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I have
Add
never had to provide any of that for a cell phone.
all of it. Yes, ma'am.
I've never had to provide it. Actually, when I switched to Straight Talk, all I had to do was buy the phone and the
Well, that's
SIM card.
well, perhaps that's how terrorists do it. I don't know.
I don't know because we were with Metro PCS for like, God, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Then we switched over to Cricket for a minute. And then we switched to Straight Talk. I've only had like maybe 4 providers my entire life.
Well, we've had the same one.
It's just wild that they put you through that because I've never gone through that to get a phone.
Yeah, and that's what we don't understand is why. What is the
Was
big
it
deal?
are the phones under the business
Yeah,
name?
I put it on. I ended up doing it putting under the business.
That's
But
why. That's why.
It doesn't matter. The tax. All you have to do is give the number. They wanted the social security, his, mine, and the tax ID number.
Yeah, that makes sense. They
All
want to
you
make
do is
sure someone's not falsely putting it on your bill and that you're providing all the information to prove you own the company and you have permission to do the work.
And EJ had a really good point. So we're sitting there and we're watching, and they kept saying that this thing would pop up, everything that he would hit. One moment, please. Thank you for waiting. We'll be right with you. And that circle kept going round and round. And EJ just wanted to say to the guy, you're supposed to be providing internet service and you guys can't even connect. Like, why is it taking so long?
I want to take a quick second. Hi, Blue. Hi, Art. And Art has a point. Some of it is a credit check. They want to make sure they're going to get paid. But it's insane. That sounds like you're trying to open a bank account, buy a house, and start a car and a business all in one day.
Well, I will tell you that we really upgraded. I mean, they had a deal. We really upgraded. My phone, I don't want to tell you how much my phone is worth, but
well, it's monthly payments over the next few years that they're doing that.
But and I don't have a problem paying the $8.33 over the next 3 years. But I only had to pay the taxes on the phone. I didn't have to pay no down payment, nothing. I just had to pay the taxes.
Well, that's because you guys have a good credit score.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a good credit score, you'd be paying half, if not most of it up front.
And then, then since we've reestablished connections with my younger son, he's going to stay on the plan with us because we get even a better discount. And so they have to, now get this, they have to mail him the phone from Pittsburgh to New York City.
Yep.
Why can't they just call the AT&T store up in New York and say, hey, they paid for a phone down here. He'll be up there to pick it up. Yeah. Okay. No, it's got to be mailed.
No, too much fraud and illegal activity doing it that way. Yeah, I can see why they're doing it the way they're doing it.
Well, and then he doesn't know yet that he has to be there to sign for it. So yeah,
he's about to find out.
Uh-huh. I'm telling you, wait, and this was the kick in the pants when we left. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Could I please have a bag?
Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry, we're out of them. We don't have any.
Wow, really? They don't
Mhm.
have bags. Oh, our
Correct.
secondhand stores are now at the point where if you want bags, you got to pay extra for them.
Oh, our grocery stores have been like that for I can't tell you how long.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Wow.
Aldi's you've always had to pay, Walmart you pay,
We don't have to
Johnny
pay
you
at
pay.
only Waldy. I mean Waldies.
Well, there
Oh
we
my
go. Oh wait,
fucking
I wrote them
god.
down. Here we
Eventually,
go.
you're gonna
That's
have
your
to pay to
third
take the
one.
shopping cart out of the store.
Go ahead. Talk
Oh
about
What
my
happened?
god.
What happened, Mother?
Well, I had break in Brooklyn the other night.
I
Why'd you say
yeah.
break in Brooklyn?
Brooklyn with
Why?
an L.
Why?
Because I botched up the names.
Why?
I've been doing this for days. That
Mhm.
tells you how my health is going. Yeah. So
Oh, guess what?
Waldies.
Guess what he put on my sandwich? Guess what he put on my sandwich for me?
What do you put on your sandwich?
A pill dickle.
Oh, you got a pill dickle. I had some for breakfast.
There you go. Uh-huh.
Yeah, my speech has gone absolute shit the last few days. And I don't know what's going on, other than maybe oxygen deprived from my asthma acting up.
I have none. Go, you're not getting a thing. Get out of my face. Go.
Oh,
Don't
oh my
not.
god. But no, Aldi's is the only place that charges for bags down here. Well, and now the secondhand stores. But
Mm-hmm.
like most of the time we just load up the cart, take it to the car, put it in the back, and then make sure my walker or something is blocking it from not falling all over the place. We use my walker like a barricade, and
Mm-hmm.
then we go home. I mean, we could absolutely live without bags anyway. So that's me and my family. I can't say it for everybody else, but yeah,
Hold on 1 sec. Get in your bed. Go.
I am in my bed.
Sorry about that. And we went in EJ's new pickup truck. Do you know how many times I've climbed in and out of it?
A lot today.
Mm-hmm. You know how many times he physically manhandled me to push me in there to try to make me get in there faster? I'm like, my leg doesn't work. What are you talking? You know what I mean? Like, I can only. He's like, well, why can't you push up on this leg? I'm like, because it doesn't work. That's why.
We have four corners here today. Hello.
Hey,
How
Four
are you
Corners,
doing?
see you. It's been a while. And Art Blue, if I didn't say hi, that's because I've lost my ever loving mind.
Art's saying it's about 8 cents a bag in Washington.
Yeah, I want
Really?
to say it's 5 cents a bag for at Walmart. It's a nickel a bag.
We don't pay for the bags still down here. I guess we're blessed that we don't have insane taxes like that.
Mhm.
And our state government's trying to lower our taxes even further. Well, trying to impeach our governor who's a dipshit, mishandling and misusing travel funds. So, yeah, I'm blessed to have a state that doesn't do that.
Our state is just, EJ picked up that truck on Saturday.
Uh huh.
So while he was, and it was a 2.5 hour trip up, 2.5 hours back.
Uh huh.
He gets there, they go to sign out, and the guy says to him, "Oh, we need another $1,000 from you." And EJ's like,
Oh,
"For what?" And he goes, "Because in our zip code, there's two counties, and they
no.
ran the wrong county."
And
And
so he had
luckily,
to pay because they ran the wrong county.
uh-huh,
Idiots.
he was furious.
I
So
would be
luckily,
too.
yeah, luckily he still had enough money on his card that he was able to pay for the phone stuff today because it's
Otherwise,
just
he'd be like, I need a transfer.
mhm. Yep.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's too
I just
much.
I just don't understand. I really don't understand.
I don't know. It's weird. Very, very weird.
But we did save a lot of money from Verizon. Although, wait, I said to EJ, when I call for insurance tomorrow to double check, it's probably going to kick it up to the same amount. Oh, I would just die. Fudge. Things are just work out too funny.
Or there's a sign in a boss's office. It said, how to know you're getting older. When you wake up, everything hurts, and what doesn't hurt doesn't work. Always like that one.
Uh-huh.
Sounds like my kind of day.
And here's EJ berating. He's berating me in the store, right? He's going, don't you know nobody takes checks anymore?
Too bad. Yes, checks are still an acceptable tender or currency. Either way, it's freaking accepted.
Why didn't the store have "we do not accept checks" on the door? I wouldn't have walked in.
Yeah. That's another one. So, obviously they did accept checks eventually. They just didn't want to accept it. It was too much work to accept it. So, yeah.
They had to use the hardwired computer.
Because, yeah. Sounds a lot like they just didn't want to do their job. But they had to do it in the end. Oh, God. I tell you, I stay away from businesses like that.
And then we were in the truck and I was looking for money. And I found, I'm not going to tell you, I find other slips of blood work that I forgot I had to get for the PCP.
Wow. D?
You're
grounded.
They hard printed them because every time they fax something up to them, they always can't find them. And so she handed them to me, and I forgot all about them being in my purse. They'll just have to do it when we go in. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like you just you need to be grounded for the week.
For how long?
A week. You're gonna stay in bed and behave yourself.
Okay. Well, we and we are going to have to play next week by ear. Wait, what day is the 11th?
The 11th is a Wednesday.
That Wednesday. Okay, so Wednesday for sure we'll have to drop a video. That's surgery day. So
okay.
And Thursday will be at 7, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
No, Monday and Wednesday are 7. Tuesday and Thursday are 3 to 5 usually. But we can juggle it if we need to.
Yeah, I might be. We'll have to play Wednesday and Thursday next week by ear.
Blue Rose says she is not doing that, girl. Yeah, I know. But it feels good to ground someone. I haven't been able to do that in a long time because my kids are both in their 20s. So there's that.
Damn, right now I'd gladly stay grounded.
Oh, yep. I know. I've been falling apart since the day I was born. He was falling apart after 20 years of being a mechanic. Yep. Everything hurt on my 18th birthday. What? Quit working was only a question, LOL. Yep. I worked until I physically couldn't walk anymore. I literally just could not walk because of my back spasms. That tells you I was determined to try and keep working.
When I called you today, I was like, "What's wrong?"
A lot.
You were in the back spasm.
Yeah, I had stood up too long trying to get bread and butter together on a plate. Tell me how it takes your back spasms can kick in while putting bread and butter together and then throwing it on a plate. I ended up having to have my daughter do it. It was so bad. And then she comes in and she's got strep throat. oh, yay. Guess what I'll probably have in the near future? Just
Mm-hmm.
because we're in breathing distance of each other. But
Yep.
yeah, one look at her throat and it's like, shit. We're going to have to pay at the urgent care whatever they charge, and then we got to pay for the antibiotics that she's going to be given. And it's like, here we go. Joys of not having medical coverage in America.
Oh, I
But
need to
hey,
take a
let's give it to
drink.
everybody else who came across the border.
Hold on, I need a drink. I just realized I haven't drank anything since, yeah, I don't know what time. You
I've
know,
been drinking Kool-Aid. My daughter mixed pink lemonade and blue lemonade together.
there you go. I don't know about you, but up here, it's cheaper to go to the emergency room than it is to the urgent care.
Nope, not down here. It's cheaper to go to urgent care, and they'll actually insist you go to urgent care for something like a sore throat.
And not only that, but the urgent cares that say, oh, we can set a fracture, we can do this, we can do that. You show up there, they'll send you to the ER and say, nope, we can't help you. We don't even bother with urgent cares anymore.
Well, the last time my
So,
daughter went to an urgent care, they shipped her to the hospital thinking she was having a heart attack because of an arrhythmia from being dehydrated. I looked at her, I was looking at her monitor, the EEG, going across the screen. I'm like, why? She's dehydrated. She's been
mhm.
throwing up. That should have been the first sign she's dehydrated. It does sometimes mock a heart attack. It's an abnormal heart rhythm, and duh, throw an IV in. So I'm going with her this time to make sure they don't send her for a heart attack again. I swear. And Blue Rose was saying that her nephew has strep throat, her niece had a virus, and her sister had the flu. Art says, the only reason I quit working on cars was because I don't want to manage a dealer service department and I didn't want to open my own shop. I just wanted to teach. If not that, then I was done. I get it. I absolutely get it. But yeah, so I'm going with my daughter this time when we go to the urgent care because I'm not having her shipped to the hospital with them acting like it's an god dang heart attack. Like, are they that stupid, really?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if I told you, and I'm eating one of them pill dickles, by the way. So I'm talking while I'm eating.
It's better than going to Waldy's.
This is this is true. I don't know if
God,
I
I need a
told you we
break.
have about the customer that has been calling and sending us letters for a replacement part that Eric installed,
Uh
and
huh.
she read all of the documentation that came with it and wants to know why Eric put something in that would cause her cancer.
Oh, for the love of God.
She read the Prop 65 stuff for California.
Everything from California. California says everything causes you cancer. I'm amazed the
Mm-hmm.
albuterol I'm breathing in right now isn't listed as a carcinogenic in California.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So get in your bed. Get in
at
your
what
bed.
point do we tell California's Surgeon General they're a fucktard and we're not listening to them anymore? And we'll just die when we die and get over it?
Exactly.
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
I have not listened to the California Surgeon General since I was like itty bitty and I realized how retarded they were.
and she wants to know what we're going to do about it. She's in her
Nothing.
80s.
Nothing. And you're 80. If you get cancer, you're probably going to die of natural age before you will die of that cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I would be as rude to say so. But I'm not in charge of her medical records, so there's that. Yes, I know I'm
And
yelling.
then, and then, as you know, I killed myself cooking again yesterday for my in-laws. I even included a cake.
Uh huh.
And I've never seen my father-in-law eat so much food since they left their home and moved into these various apartments and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even when he's been at people's houses for, uh, like Easter and whatever, he ate. So not only did he eat so much on the first plate, but he had seconds, and he had peaches, and he had cake. And damn. And then we're getting ready to leave, and my mother-in-law hinted that she wants to move in.
They're ready to give up living on their own.
Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, when my parents passed away, I offered them the little house, where EJ and them live, and they
Uh-huh.
didn't want it. They didn't want it. And I also, when they left this one other place that was kind of on the bad side, I offered to move them in here, and they didn't want to do that either. They said they'd be a burden, and I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Mom can cook, and I'd have Dad out in the garden and that, and doing the yard work. I'd put them to work. I'm the handicapped one. They're still." Dad's 93, and he says to us yesterday, "Guess what, Eric? We got the car back." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Dad, are you driving?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "I haven't had the car since November." He goes, "I think somebody doesn't want me driving." And I'm like,
You
that might be
think?
your daughter.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Really? There's a sign.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I do got to laugh out loud really fast. I know I was chuckling in the background, but B says it's Art says B, it only causes cancer in California. Nothing to worry about. And I
Maybe that's
reading about you messing up that brachial plexus. I'll learn to speak. Yeah, that's going to make people think you have a heart attack. That really will do it.
maybe I'll tell her that. Maybe when I type the response letter back to her that I need to write, I'll
It's
tell
only
her.
in California. Yes, use it. Go ahead.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Use Art's words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Magically, in Pennsylvania, you are safe from it causing cancer because it's only
Right.
in the
Right.
state of California, those borders, that it actually can cause cancer. So never live
Yeah.
in
There you go.
California.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Everyone wants to talk about medical misinformation during coronavirus.
For real, right?
Oh my god. And don't get me started. I watched a video. I don't know how accurate it is. I want to do a little more digging into it, but China put out this thing that they found a new SARS-CoV-2 that's 100% deadly in mice that it was tested on. But it's one study out of China and on 15 mice that were transgenic. So they were partially human.
Transgender?
No, not transgender, transgenic. They basically bred the mice with the human gene for the lungs,
Oh, okay.
and
Gotcha.
so their lungs it has like an H2 receptor, so it is like humans tissue, so it responds the same way to the viruses. The ethics behind it are very questionable. Yeah, but so they're claiming it's 100%. It's not found in the wild, but it did mutate amongst the viruses they were studying. I'm using air quotes here in their lab in Taiwan, not Taiwan. Yeah, no, Beijing. It was Beijing. I was watching a
Okay.
doctor who was talking about it, and I'm looking at this study, and I'm like, either they're trying to bolster this and make it look, they're posturing like we got this, we found this ahead of time, or there was already a lab leak and now they're putting out the study and they're trying to head it off, or they're playing with bioweapons and still mutating on purpose, like messing with that weaponizing of viruses. So, that's always an option. But yeah, I want to dig further into that.
I have my other glasses on. And so I just glanced on and saw what Art wrote, and I thought it said, "I don't remember if monsters,"
It's
but I
monitors.
don't
I
think
was
that's
just reading
I
it.
uh-huh. Yeah, I know.
I believe it's 19 inches over there. No, you know what? The 19-inch must be 20 because centimeters are big. No, centimeters. It's more centimeters per inch. And they don't use our standard, they use metrics. So I would assume it is bigger. Maybe. I can't remember either. I know it does. I know about that. I do think it goes up. I want to say it goes up, but I'm not sure
You
because
know,
of
I'm
the
not quite
centimeters.
sure. I'm not quite sure I've heard a damn thing that you've said for the last 2 minutes. I think I zoned out somewhere. So
Oh, I
if
do it too, but not as often. And we were just talking about metrics versus standard.
no, I got that. I mean, before that,
Oh, about the China virus thingy that they swear is
I heard
existent.
about it between the China virus and the metric. Whatever you said in between, I zoned out.
Oh, I was saying about how I want to dig further into it and
I
see if
heard
it's
that.
legit.
I heard that.
But I didn't say anything else. I jumped. You read the thing, and then I commented after you
So you
read
said
his
something
comment.
about a friblipper. I don't know what the hell you said. I don't know. Never mind.
Are we sure it was me and not a ghost talking through the mic again?
Hey, it could be. You never know. You know?
I'm not sure. Unless I totally blanked and don't remember I said something.
Dog, if you do not get out of here, you might not live tonight. Now go. Go. You're afraid of the cat. He can't get out the door because the cat's
Can
there.
you blame him? There are 2 cats and one of him, and he's old.
Yes, he is. Tracy, go. Go see
Protect him
Daddy.
from the kitty cats.
They're so bad. Nope, he's not going out the door. They're both bothering him. Plus, he just saw that I still had another half of a sandwich. We haven't eaten since I think 9:30 this morning. We haven't had anything to drink since 9:30 this morning.
That's not good. That's a quick way to
No, it's not.
dehydrate.
I know. That's where I'm at. Anyway, you think we should get the show started?
I guess we could. I mean, we absolutely
Or
could
the
do
show
it.
started, I guess. But I mean, you think we should
Yeah, cover the topics that you
the
sent over.
topics that we had? Yeah.
Yeah, we could absolutely do that. I don't see why we can't.
Okay. Uh-huh. What we got?
We have this dingbat down in Georgia, and Nate the lawyer covered it. It was a pretty straightforward video, and I didn't know that Georgia had this dipshit in charge.
Yeah. And neither did I. And I thought that this was current, like that it just happened within the past week or whatever. And come to find out that it happened in 2024. And so I was mad. I was like, you dumbass, you didn't even catch that it was 2024. And I said, I wonder whatever happened to him. So let's find out.
Yep, let's give a listen. We have the news article and then a second video with an update, I believe.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Meet the mayor of South Fulton, Georgia. He was arrested while mayor for burglary.
Breaking news, the mayor of one metro Atlanta community finds him.
He broke, as mayor, broke into someone's house?
Yes, ma'am. Allegedly.
Okay.
Although,
Himself tonight under
never mind, I won't give it away. Go ahead.
Okay.
arrest and now facing charges in Fulton County. Just hours ago, Khalid Kamu was officially booked on 2 charges, criminal trespass and burglary in the first degree. Right now, he remains locked up in the Fulton County Jail. Bond has been set at $11,000.
Then after that, he went on a spending spree with taxpayer money, going on trips around the world.
So again,
Oh, sounds like my governor.
3 times last year.
Okay, Colombia 3 times, Paris twice, Rwanda and Ghana, and Toronto.
Yes, and those all weren't in the same year.
You took your black behind over to Africa for 20 days and didn't tell anybody.
Now, this is Khalid Kamayu. He's better known as Mayor Kobe and is the current mayor of South Fulton, Georgia, a city with a population of 92% African American. That makes it the blackest city in America. Now, Mayor Kobe was elected in 2021 after defeating a 20-year incumbent with nearly 60% of the vote. Now, before becoming Mayor Kobe, Kamayu worked as a community organizer and is most famous for working with the Atlanta chapter of BLM.
The city of South Fulton, Mayor-elect Khalid Kamu has worn lots of hats.
Now, from MARTA bus driver to community organizer for Black Lives Matter.
45-year-old Khalid Kamu is anxious to get to work after outpacing incumbent mayor and veteran politician Bill Edwards.
Stopping right there.
Really? Really, South Fulton? You're going to hire as your mayor an activist and for Black Lives Matters?
Yeah. Makes sense, doesn't it? The city. Blue Rose says just stupidity at its finest.
What?
I mean, most Democrat cities are run by a activist of some sort. Hell, half our states are run by activists. Half our Congress is activists. Our last president was brain dead, but his vice president was an activist.
Right. How many of them belong to Act Blue?
Oh, I'm sure all of them.
Uh-huh.
I'd put money it's all of them. All right. I'll go ahead play.
To become the second mayor to govern Georgia's newest city, the city of South Fulton. Kamu says he wants to dispel a lot of myths. He says he does not hate white people, is unapologetically black, but is prepared to lead all of South Fulton in a progressive direction.
What does that
So,
even
as you
mean?
heard, the new mayor...
It means absolutely nothing. It is just words that trigger the idiots to vote for him. It has zero meaning if you really think about it.
He doesn't hate white people. Okay.
But he is progressive. And that's all that matters. And that's how he got the dumb whites to vote, because I don't hate white people, except I support an organization that does. But, you know, there's that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mayor happens not to hate white people, which is shocking that he even had to say that, because I think the perception is that he may hate white people. But this mayor wanted to start getting to work. Now, Mayor Kobe is very, very similar to another mayor that we talk about on this channel all the time, Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard. For example, they both have been arrested before. Tiffany A. Henyard was arrested in Chicago for, quote, criminal trespass to vehicles, breaking into cars. Now, for Tiffany Henyard, that happened.
She's an idiot, too.
Now, with Mayor Kobe, he's going to get arrested for burglary while he is mayor, and the homeowner is going to hold him at gunpoint.
This afternoon, some...
Oh, allegedly, but the gun owner held him at gunpoint.
Exactly.
Obviously, it was him.
You might have misidentified him.
How do you misidentify a person that's sitting there at gunpoint until the cops show up?
Hey, I don't know.
The cops are the one who ID'd him. She just held him at gunpoint, or whoever the homeowner was. Held him at gunpoint. Like, dude. There ain't too many homeowners in the South who don't own guns.
Right.
And there's actually in Georgia, there's an entire county that kind of requires you to conceal, get a carry permit. And they prefer everyone in their community to carry. If you're of legal age, you need to carry. And I wouldn't mind living there. I'll tell you that. Sounds like my kind of community. But yeah, pretty much the South, everyone owns some kind of home defense. And you're stupid if you break in. I mean, we've heard that one sheriff in Florida talk about turning them into Swiss
Right.
cheese.
Right, Grady. Sheriff
Yeah,
Grady or
Sheriff Grady. I absolutely. I mean, I'm sitting here and I have a handgun 3 feet away. With it, I mean, all I got to do is grab it, and I have spare mags sitting right next to it. Like, I mean, you're stupid if you break into a house down in the South. You really are. That's all I know. Dude, what were you thinking? All right. Let's see what else they have to say about how he allegedly did this.
Mm-hmm.
Some residents in the city of South Fulton have called for the mayor to resign after his arrest over the weekend. Mayor Khalid Kamu faces burglary and trespassing charges after entering a property owner's home over the weekend.
Now, the house in question was a lakefront property on Cascade.
It says do not enter, no
Where a
trespassing.
homeowner held the mayor at gunpoint until police arrived.
Now, the mayor's still dealing with those allegations. But you see what I mean?
What's that an
Tiffany
allegation?
Hinyard has been arrested in the past.
This is what I mean by the word allegedly is so stupid. Because obviously, the dude did this. The police arrested him. It's not like there was a body swap out or a body double in a movie. This wasn't a stunt double. This was, and yet they still got to say allegedly.
Right.
Really? Our system is stupid sometimes. And I get it, innocent until proven guilty. Proof of guilt. Held at gunpoint by homeowner until cops showed up. That's pretty guilty.
Just a little bit.
I get it if, someone broke into a house, stole this jewelry, I came home to find it all missing. Then there's the alleged. Because you got to prove it with someone. I mean, the proof was right there. Okay. I'm sorry. Our system is really ridiculous.
Yes,
Sometimes. Sometimes. Not all the time. I am saying sometimes. So, all right. Here we go. Let's listen to more of this.
This mayor's also been arrested in the past, both for property crimes. One was stealing from cars, allegedly, and the other one stealing from people's homes, allegedly. Now, another thing that makes this story like the Hinyard story is the travel. Remember, Hinyard was traveling all across the United States on taxpayer dime, and there was like 20,000 people in that town.
Last January, we told you Tiffany Hinyard and her entourage racked up more than $67,000 in travel-related charges in just 5 months.
Well, Mayor Colby is doing something very similar. Instead of limiting it to the United States, he's traveling the world.
Transaction records show Kobe used his city-issued Visa card to book trips around the world.
Right. How many times were you in Colombia?
So again, I went to Colombia 3 times last year.
Okay, Colombia 3 times, Paris twice, Rwanda and Ghana, and Toronto?
Yes, and those all weren't in the same year. That was over 2 years.
The records we have suggest only one of those trips is from 2023. But Kobe wanted to talk about his new office space, not his spending.
Now, Mayor Kobe
Oh
was
my
confronted
God.
by his all-black city council in the most black town in the United States of America. He did something very interesting. He pulled the race card.
I am so distressed and disappointed.
What? Wait. I gotta hear this before I comment. I gotta hear what is supposedly so racist from an all-black city council.
Go ahead.
Against a black mayor. Please, this is going to be good. This might get made into a meme. Hold up. Let's hear what he has to say on how this is racist. And then we can laugh even harder, because it's probably bullshit.
That the blackest city in the United States of America is heading into Black History Month with its all-black council tearing each other down.
What the? Dude, you did wrong. Like, my governor is potentially facing impeachment for blowing $37 million in a year. And he did go out of country once, but he did like Aspen, Colorado quite a bit. And he, again, like, what is up with these governors and mayors thinking they can go wherever they please, however they please, on our dollar? Your vacations should be coming out of your check,
Your money, right?
not the city and state funds that are from the taxpayers. This is not racist. This is you got busted for violating a law and mishandling taxpayer dollars. Ain't nothing racist about it, buddy. Ain't nothing racist about it. What the hell is wrong with people?
Yep. Keep going. It gets better.
Mayor, I really was going to let this go, but I can't continue to sit here and allow you to make it seem like we're the villains and you're the victim.
Good for her.
Those cameras are in the back of the room, not because of us. We would love to come to a meeting and just go through this agenda, have a professional meeting, and do the business of the people and go home. But it was you who want to sit around and call us the blackest city and say we want to tear each other down. We're not tearing you down. You took your black behind over to Africa for 20 days and didn't tell anybody. No, he called us a blacker city, and that was disrespectful. We keep telling him that.
Now, I hate to keep
Oh
going
my
back to
God.
Tiffany Hinyard, but in the Tiffany Hinyard saga, we always kept hearing about receipts. We don't have receipts. And now, when it comes to Mayor Kobe, guess what they're saying? He's spending money and he doesn't have receipts.
Bank records from the mayor's city-issued credit card shows more than $25,000 spent between October and December.
Is the city of South Fulton doing any business in Africa?
Not to my knowledge. That's not even a priority.
There are more than 100 purchases still unaccounted for, meaning the mayor has not submitted receipts. All of these X's indicate items where receipts
Oh
have
my
not been turned
God.
in. I found city
Those
officials
add
have
up.
3.
There's a lot of $4, $10. Oh, a foreign transaction fee.
Mm-hmm.
Really? And here's another foreign transaction fee and another.
Sending money somewhere.
Or purchasing things on the city card, debit card or whatever they use while overseas. And they add an extra foreign transaction fee. Ooh, buddy. Yeah, you're getting removed. I have to say, one thing that's really come to light in the last few years is the corruption in the local and federal. I mean, local and state levels, and people are really not. They're cleaning house. There are some states, like my state, is really cleaning house.
And this includes your school boards too.
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of people who are pushing back. A lot of places, but you're never going to hear about it on the mainstream news. It's only going to be your local stuff, and if you happen to catch the 5-minute blurb, you might have. I mean, heck, there's a news station video after this. It's only 2 minutes long about it, but like, sometimes it takes me more than 2 minutes to haul my ass to the bathroom and back.
Right.
I could miss this easily. You get a phone call. You gotta take the dog for a walk. You might not know this is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, pay attention to your local idiots. Make sure they get called out.
3 days after a purchase to turn in receipts.
All right, so let's recap. This mayor has been arrested while mayor for felony burglary. That's first. Number 2, then the mayor is not turning in receipts
Uber
for what he's
tips
and spending like crazy.
Uber trips.
And then
Holy
we talk
shit.
about the travel. This mayor has gone around the world. We heard the list from Paris to Ghana. He went to Colombia 3 times.
South Fulton City Council says it has
Why has he got to go to
no
Colombia?
confidence in its own mayor. This comes after the mayor claimed the council created a culture of corruption. It's been a
That's
fiery
true. Oh,
week
hold
in
on.
South
Art
Fulton.
added something. You can get foreign transaction fees if you purchase something in another country, even though you're in the U.S. So, like purchasing online, you can get hit with a foreign transaction fee. That makes sense. Anytime there's an exchange. Okay. And then, yep. So, okay, that clears that up. I thought it was mostly when you purchased while you're overseas. I know you can sometimes get it, but usually I don't. And I know sending money is like a family member of mine who sends money overseas sometimes. They get hit with a tariff because of Trump doing that now with the wiring money to other countries. So, okay, well, that makes sense. So,
And that included tonight, where multiple onlookers protested and had to be escorted out of the meeting.
City Council made a unanimous vote of no confidence against their own mayor, Khalid
Good.
Kamu.
This city council is doing whatever they want to do.
This a few days after the mayor questioned the council's handling of a police investigation.
I'm blowing the whistle on this because as mayor, the buck stops with me.
Deflecting.
deflecting is an understatement. How about the police investigation into you for breaking into someone's house? And you had to sit there embarrassed as all hell at gunpoint till they showed up and put you in cuffs. Idiot. Like, deep breath. Slowly let it out.
This culture of corruption will also stop with me.
Fast forward to Friday, Kamu said this meeting was illegal, violating an Open Meetings Act. He said he also filed temporary restraining orders against the city attorney and all council members.
Yeah, this story's insane. He filed restraining orders against each person in the city council and the city attorney. So it's gotten kind of crazy down there in South
How's that
Fulton.
even
Now, let me clear
possible?
to Mayor Colby. This is
I
what
don't
he
know.
says about the travel issue.
Again, Kobe says his travels are within his spending authority and will continue. He believes the council's actions are a scheme to remove him from office ahead of the mayoral election this fall.
Yeah, because you're an
on
idiot.
One side, Mayor Colby says they're motivated because they want his job. Henyard actually says the same thing. They're motivated because they want her job. And on the other side,
No,
we see
you're
that people
corrupt.
looking for
Go.
transparency. Hey, why did we spend this here? You haven't returned any receipts for these things. What's going on? Why did you go to 4 continents in 4 months? Now, there's one other thing that came up that I do want to mention. See, the mayor has this dog, and you know how most people don't bring their dogs to the office every day? Well, the mayor, he decided, yeah, I'm going to bring my dog to work.
Meet South Fulton first dog Zion, who not only has a monthly party, but his own website and an Instagram page too.
What?
He is a Shiba Inu that is by Mayor Khalid Kamu's side most of the time. The mayor tells Fox 5 Zion is a service dog, but everybody has a...
Wait, hold up. The dog has a monthly party
Mm-hmm.
and its own website.
Yeah, maybe that's where some of the money's going to.
I
Foreign
bet that's where part of the
transaction.
money's coming through. Going
Is that
to.
a
Yeah.
foreign transaction fee?
No, that's a stupid transaction fee. And the dog's own Instagram page? Really? Dude. What? Like, and then to insist it's a service dog so he can get it to work with him? What the hell disability do you got that you need a service dog? Oh my God.
Let's find out.
Okay. All right. Let's hear this bullshit stream from him. Like someone bring a mop and clean up this bullshit as it spews from his mouth.
hasn't warmed up to him.
So now the city council wanted to pass legislation saying, hey, if you're coming to the office, you can't bring a dog unless that dog is an actual service dog. And the mayor is not happy.
The same councilwoman who's called to investigate my travel receipts, she tried to take my car.
Now, to be fair, the mayor and city council have discussed the dog issue previously.
We have tried to work with him. We have asked him to not bring the dog around in certain settings. This dog has violated people.
So now legally you have to allow service dogs to come in. So
Look at
those
that
are the only
thing.
dogs they.
It means the male dog, it's probably a male dog, not neutered, and it enjoyed other people's legs.
I know, I'm just saying. File a police report against it.
Oh my God. My head hurts listening to this. Someone bring a mop and a bucket because dude is shitting it out of his mouth everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Okay. There's a few more seconds, about 10 seconds. Really? I can get through this.
They cannot ban. So if the mayor's dog is a service dog, like he said earlier,
The mayor tells Fox 5 Zion is a service dog.
then he should be fine. But if it's not, then his dog is not going to be able to be brought to the office.
Oh my God. Wow. Really? Just really?
Hey, Crazy
Okay.
Bee, can you look up real quick requirements for a service dog?
That there are varying levels of service dog. I actually know this already, because I have a family member who was in the military, PTSD, doesn't use an had an emotional support dog, but is now looking into getting their dog trained as a service dog for that specific illness.
Okay.
You can have your dog, if you get a puppy, you can pay to have it trained as a
Right.
service dog.
Right.
Or you can work with your insurance companies and pay out of pocket to basically rent a service dog for the length of its life. And then you go through it again. They can take the dog back if you are no longer disabled or for the length of the disability dog's life. And they have to have specialized training. They have to be wearing, when they're out in public, they have to wear the service harness.
Right.
Very clearly marked as a service dog. And you have to carry paperwork stating that it is a service dog for these reasons and what it does to help you. Now, there are people with panic attacks that, yes, petting a dog or a cat can help calm them down. That is an emotional support pet, not necessarily I'm having a seizure and this dog needs to get, there was a case of a dog that had, was able, they can either get the medication or there's a guy who he was a former service member in the military. There was a setup on his phone that if the dog did something so many times, it would instantly dial 911. And it would keep doing it until 911 responded to the call. Now, they had operators answering and they're hearing this dog barking and breathing and no one answering. And it took them forever to realize, oh, it's a service dog. And so they were able to trace the number back and get to the guy who was having a seizure. PTSD can cause serious disassociation from reality, and it sometimes requires medication and hospitalizations. So, again, your service dog for seizures, heart attacks, asthma, they recognize the asthma attack, they go grab the inhaler. There was someone who had fainting spells, and the dog would signal for them to sit down. And then the dog would go get the medicine and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's one I saw that opened up the refrigerator and got a bottle of water out.
Yep. Yes. There are some that are very smart and capable like that. But they are trained that way from the time they are born. Like from the time they are done, but actually even sometimes before they're done weaning, they will start the training with the dogs. And it is lifelong. They teach them not to respond to external stimuli like cats, squirrels, people being idiots. Like the dogs the assisted walking for the blind. The dogs that recognize when a car is coming, the street lights and stuff. So there is a rigorous amount of training that has to go into this. And if he thinks that his dog is a service dog, I doubt it. 100%. I really doubt it. Because if his dog was a service dog, it wouldn't have been humping on people's legs.
Right.
So, there's that.
There you go.
There's your definition of service animals versus emotional support animals and the different types of service animals available.
Or you just want your dog in the office, right?
That's just, I don't want to leave my dog at home to shit on my house floor. So, because a dog like that, which is mixed with, you know, some of the husky type breed, you know, you can see it. They're very hyper. They are dogs that will tear shit up if you leave them home alone. So he probably wants to bring them in for that purpose. And I see Blue Rose just sent me a message. Something about the New York Supreme Court just blocked New York's attempt to eliminate a Republican congressional seat in New York City 6-3. Mom Donnie and Hochul are about to be pissed. Good news. They're not letting it become a Democrat majority out of lack of choice. They're not going to let them force that. Awesome. So, but yeah, this guy is an idiot. Here's an article about him trespassing. I hate these freaking cookies they put on everyone. It says now playing above, but where is above? Okay. So this is from July of 2023. I'm trying to read as I go. Let me enlarge this because I can't fucking see. I don't know if you can. So, South Fulton's district attorney has formally charged the mayor of South Fulton with criminal trespass. 2 years later. Almost 2 years later. Oh no, this was May of 2025. It took them 2 freaking years to do something about it. D, you still there? Uh-oh. D? Did I lose you?
I'm here.
Oh.
No, I'm here.
Okay, I thought I lost you. Got really quiet over there. I can't believe it took them 2 years to do something about this guy. The Fulton County DA dropped the felony burglary charges, the burglar charge against him, the BNA, the felony B against him, and the criminal trespass was a misdemeanor. If convicted, he could face up to a year in jail, probation, or be fined up to $1,000. Really? They let him off that easy?
Yep.
I so disapprove. They really are going to let him off that easy. No one is above the law, but we're going to give him a little tap on the wrist and tell him don't do that again. Is this it? Oh, this is Fannie Willis, who is the district attorney. No wonder why. I just realized it's that same Fannie Willis.
Yep.
Oh. That's why he got the slap on the wrist. And that no one is above the law. Bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. When someone violates their law, their position does not shield them from accountability. Except you're barely making him accountable. He can pay this with the taxpayers' dollars the way he's been doing it. Oh my God, really? So, oh my God, he broke into a homeowner's. The homeowner saw a man inside his lake house and called the police. He said he told the man to stay put while police were on their way. The homeowner said the man told him he was the mayor, and I'll wait for the police to get here to see what happens then. He literally thought
He
this
thought
was
he was going to get. Yeah, I thought he was going to walk away.
Oh my God. When police officers arrived, they said what's his face told them the house was his dream home and he wanted to buy it. What?
You know what I want to know is, what if he just said, well, you know what? I'm leaving. What would the homeowner have done then?
Had to pull the trigger.
Mhm.
Or let him go and the cops find him later.
Yeah.
Look, but he said it was his dream home and he just wanted to buy it. So you broke in the middle of the night. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. He briefly blamed this. He was briefly banned from City Hall. And the city also garnished his wages for a mural in his office. What? Dude is so mishandling money. Wow. That is a whole new level. And I thought Kwame Kilpatrick was bad for Detroit. Dude was paying for hookers on tax dollars. But, like, wow. Yeah. Okay, we got one more video on this guy. It's only 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And let's see what they get to add.
Early voting is underway, and this year South Fulton residents will have 9 candidates
Can't hear it.
ballot for mayor,
Okay.
including the incumbent mayor, Kamu, goes by mayor. Now, he initially announced in April he wouldn't seek re-election, but then reversed course in August. Critics say his tenure has been marked by questionable spending and clashes with city council, but he touts major wins, including the acquisition of 400 acres for infrastructure projects like a new 911 Central Park campus. Well, just hours ago, I sat down with him to ask him about his relationship after he faced audits from his spending, including a unanimous vote to garnish his pay after he committed $1 payment. Moves he say were politically motivated. If you are reelected, how will you work together with city council?
And I'm unapologetically blunt about certain things. We won't work well together.
You're saying that if you're with the all will not get along. So why should the residents?
I think that I have been a good mayor. I think one of the things I really encourage people to do is to go beyond the news, right? Because the news stories are 60 seconds. Our council meeting 6 to 8. I encourage people to pick a council meeting, watch, hear what I'm saying, because we're having these debates. Hear what I'm saying, hear what council's saying, vote for whoever makes sense. If residents
Not
don't
you, buddy.
want to that due diligence and watch and really try and call balls and strikes, then vote us all out. I would rather you have a brand new mayor and council than to have.
He's going to throw them under the bus like that.
Yeah, so this was just part of our conversation. 8 people want to unseat him, including the first mayor of South Fulton, Bill Edwards. You see 4 of those candidates there, but like I said, 8 people want to unseat him. They're the other 4 candidates that want to all be on the ballot. This was just a very small part of our 20. You can hear more from Mayor Kobe this Sunday on the Georgia vote, but you can watch the full interview. It is streaming right now.
Please tell me he got kicked out. He got replaced. He's no longer mayor.
There should be more to this.
Oh, yes. He pleads guilty to the misdemeanor trespass, sentenced to probation. Wow. This was on February 4th.
Of this year.
It took that long.
Yeah, so he ran for re-election.
Well, the question is, did he get reelected?
No, he did not.
Okay, good. People got smart. So all he got was probation. Really? He's also sought to have his file sealed. Dude, you ain't that special. And he's pled guilty under Georgia's First Offenders Act, which allows first-time offenders to avoid a conviction if they complete certain requirements. Man, people are spoiled these days. So as long as you behave and promise to do these things, we're going to just make it like you never did anything wrong.
And like, exactly.
Wow.
So what is the answer? Once they penetrate your home, you just shoot them?
I like that idea. Just make sure it's not a family member.
Right.
Or a neighbor. But most people knock before they open the door. I mean, that's kind of alarming.
Disturbing.
Yeah. Fulton County is the same county that tried to charge Trump with election fraud or whatever. Not a surprise. Blue Rose says just dumb. And Art says, tells you something about the county in general. Probably. Yeah. That county might not be worth living in. His last court appearance was in December when he failed to appear at a scheduled time and the judge had to issue a bench warrant, but the dingbat showed up around noon, after which he rejected a new plea deal. 12 months probation and 40 hours community service, along with an agreement to stay away from the home and not contact the homeowners and submit a handwritten apology and not violate the law. Those are his requirements.
Seems like a lot. 6 sets of... Are they targeting minorities?
Well, he just said it was an all-black city council. It's the blackest city. I doubt it. I don't think it's a targeting on that one. That's not a lot for a first-time punishment. I think that's pretty reasonable. 12 months probation, 40 hours community service. I mean, what's the point of an apology letter if he actually doesn't mean it? And stay the hell away from the guy. That makes sense. Absolute insanity. Well, that's about it. But he was replaced by a South Fulton District 2 councilwoman, Carmelita Gumbs, Gumbs, who now holds his seat. Holds the seat, yeah. Oh, lordy. Art says, right, I will not do it 100 times again on a chalkboard. I remember those punishments. I do remember those. And if you misspelled it, every spelling error, you added to it.
Yep.
Holy crap.
I will not talk in class. I will not chew gum.
I will not cuss at my teacher. I will not argue with my teacher. Those were the ones I got. I was a very pain-in-the-ass child when it came to that kind of stuff.
That's funny.
Oh, Lord. What we have up next is kind of stuff we didn't quite get to, but is still kind of worth covering. So, let me bounce us into the next video. And this is a time when Chuck Schumer supported voter ID. I was quite shocked that this still exists. I would have thought they would have purged the internet from it. But, hey, it exists. This is fun.
Now to another top Democrat facing fresh scrutiny. A resurfaced clip from the 1990s shows Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer backing ID checks to crack down on welfare fraud. Fast forward to today, and he's fighting voter ID requirements in federal elections. Take a look at then Congressman Schummer.
Let's admit the truth.
Oh my
Everyday
God, he was
people
so
don't
young.
ask for a social security card. In fact, one way to prove you're a bona fide person who can have a job is to ask for a driver's license and a social security card.
All right, let's bring in Missouri Republican Senator Eric Schmidt. It's amazing the way people evolve over time. You're for ID for one thing, to cut down on fraud, waste, and abuse in the welfare system. But now when it comes to voting, you're against it. How do you make that change?
Well, I think Chuck Schumer, in this specific instance, his journey on this is kind of indicative of the Democrat Party, which once was sort of a mainstream political party and now has reached a level of absurdity and really honestly at war with common sense. If you poll this issue, it's 80 plus, there aren't many issues that are like that, including among Democrats. 70 plus percent of Democrats believe you should actually have to show a photo ID to vote. It's about basic election security. But I think it is interesting, John, that two issues are converging at the same time. We're talking about it in the news: illegal immigration and voter ID, right? The reality is the Democrats have kind of lost the case. They've lost the argument with the American people. Their only game left now is to open up the border to 15 and 20 million people and hope that they can somehow allow people to vote who shouldn't vote. That's the truth. And so the people that are being disenfranchised from that aren't the illegal immigrants and not people who can't prove who they are, but actually American citizens. They're the ones being disenfranchised by this scheme. And so I think it's very important for us to take this issue seriously, move forward with the Save America Act. But Chuck Schumer, I mean, is being exposed, again, for a position that was very mainstream and still is mainstream, but the party's moved so far to the left, it looks totally ridiculous.
All right, well, just to remind folks at home what he says about the SAVE Act, listen to him here.
The SAVE Act is nothing more than Jim Crow 2.0. If the SAVE Act were to become law,
He literally says that.
online registration,
Mhm.
registration by
But he had
mail,
no problem
registration
supporting it for welfare back in the day.
This is just an outrageous piece of
Wow,
legislation. It's
what a
gonna go back
jackass.
100 years.
You know, buried inside there probably is one of the real reasons why the Democrats don't want this, when he says online registration, registration by mail, and registration drives would become a thing of the past. Those are things that the Democrats are very, very good at. And if you throw a voter ID requirement in there, they're afraid they're not going to be able to do it to the degree that they have. But there's a lot of ways to prove who you are, whether you're just becoming a citizen or you're just becoming a new voter, and you've got to show citizenship in order to become a registered voter, or you've got to show voter ID in order to vote. We've got electronic technology. You can do that.
Absolutely. And think about it. You have to show a photo ID or driver's license to check into a hotel room, right? This is common sense. There's two things I think that are striking from that. One is everything that the Democrats don't like now, they call racist or Jim Crow or something like that. I think they've again, that jumped the shark on that argument. But then secondly, yes, there wasn't that long ago, John, there was something called the Carter-Baker Commission. Jimmy Carter, James Baker, bipartisan, said, here are the 10 things you can do to keep our elections secure. One of them was to prevent mass mail-in balloting, where you have these drop boxes like we saw in 2020. So these simple security measures.
Those drop boxes that had security cameras catching people stuffing them. They love to not mention that part about the security cameras with the people with the grocery bags filled with ballots in the middle of the night.
That we still haven't heard what happened to those people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you hear about, this person committed voter fraud here and there. It's scattered across the country. But nobody sits and tallies up how much it really makes a difference. I think that maybe we should take a tally. You know, hey, this person in this state did 3,000 ballots, and this person did 2 ballots, and that one did 8 ballots. It's not that that individual person made a big difference. It's did the overall count of all the fraud together make the difference. And that's why they don't want to address it as one big story. I think that's why they're actually avoiding it, Republicans and Democrats, because they both cheat.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Or it says if a politician can't be on both sides of the same issue at different points in time, they're basically never taking a position on the issue. They're just putting on a show to, whatever the opposite is of what the other party wants. It's just being argumentative. I swear that's what this is. But let me hit play.
Measures that make it safe, increase people's, respect and confidence in our elections are all very important things to do. But again, Democrats are obsessed with, kind of catering to the radical left, and they're willing to throw our elections in the trash bin with it.
The one Democrat that seems to really have a reasonable grasp on reality is John Fetterman. Here's what he said about voting.
Showing everybody's in love with Fetterman.
Fetterman is, I honestly was shocked that he turned out to be the person he did.
Right.
Okay. So I was just, it's amazing what happens in one's life, because when he was running for office, he was not saying the things he's saying now. And we know the stroke is the reason that happened. We know his reason for the stance change. Can't explain the rest of our politicians.
Is a very reasonable idea, and I think 84% of Americans in the last polling from Pew supports that. And Wisconsin, a very, very purple state, just less than a year ago, they put that in their constitution, and that was passed nearly by 2 to 1.
As you pointed out, this is at the very least an 80-20 issue. Even among black voters, it's a 75-76, 25-24 issue. Hispanics, it's 80-20. I'm not quite sure which side of this issue Democrats really believe they should be on.
Again, it's about power for them. I applaud my colleague, Senator Fetterman, for taking that position. Sadly, that is he's an outlier.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that by the polling, but among the Democrat colleagues I have in the Senate, that is an outlier position, which again is insane. I mean, this is something that makes sense, that really can unite the country. But again, I think the Democrats, everything, the sort of electrical cord for everything at this point is, what does it do to aggrandize our power? It's the same reason why they want open borders. It's the same reason why they want to stop deportations. It's the same reason they don't want people to have to show who they are to vote. It's all about electoral politics and power. And again, anti-common sense.
Senator, it's always good to catch up with you. Thank you for taking the time. We look forward to you folks coming back and opening the government back up again.
Me too. That's right.
Hey, Sean.
It's really amazing that these politicians will take a stance just to cause an argument and to prevent something from happening because they don't like the other side. I know it's been there from the beginning.
Yeah, they hold the power.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do what I want.
Oh, you still there, Dee? You went techno.
Okay, I don't know why.
It went, you said you don't do what I want, and it sounded techno-y, and then it went blank.
Oh.
But,
okay. I don't know.
If you want to try stating that again so we can hear what you said after, do what I want.
Yeah, if you don't do what I want, I'm not going to do what you want. And then nothing gets done, and the only people that suffer are the American people.
Mm-hmm.
DHS for the most part is funded, Border Patrol and DHS, but TSA is down. So when you go to the airport, what are the lines like? How long are you waiting? They're telling you to get there, 4 or 5 hours before your flight, just so you could possibly have to check in.
Mm-hmm. For security purposes.
Yeah. They're not waiting that long in line.
Oh, no. Heaven forbid they should do that. No, they just take their private jet.
Right.
Because, they can. But, taking a first class or business class on an airplane would be great. Save a lot of money. Nope. They got to do it their way because they can't be with us little peons.
Right. Okay, what you got next?
This is Scott Jennings on the voter ID. You sent this over a while back. Let me hit play. There it
Let's
is.
get back to politics. I want to talk about something today that should not be controversial in a healthy democracy, and that is who gets to vote in American elections. Republicans in Congress are pushing legislation called the Save America Act. Remember that name, SAVE, because that's exactly what it does. It safeguards American voting eligibility by requiring voter ID and proof of citizenship to register in federal elections. That's it. There's no tricks here, no suppression, just verification. And for supporting this common sense idea, Democrats are completely melting down. Let's listen to Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader in the U.S. House, absolutely malfunction over the weekend on CNN. Here's cut 6.
A Pew poll from a few months ago showed 83% of Americans, including 71% of your fellow Democrats, support requiring an ID to vote. Why are they wrong?
I haven't said that they're wrong. What Republicans are trying to do is to engage in clear and blatant voter suppression. They know that if there's a free and fair election in November, they're going to lose.
That's not how I see it.
False talking points from the Democrats. You've also heard Chuck Schumer repeat.
How does making people prove their identity take away free and fair elections? To me, it makes it more free and fair.
Because it's hard for, remember, most African American, well, at least children, don't have access to computers. If they don't, I would assume their parents don't.
Most of them have an iPhone in their hands.
It's very hard to, get ID. It's DMVs or, long ways away.
Well, when you look at these kids, like, I mean, Detroit, some of the worst neighborhoods. These people were living off of the system, but they had iPhones in everybody's hand. Every person in that house had an iPhone in their hand. How?
That was the Obama phone, wasn't it?
No, that would have been an Android cheap phone, not an iPhone. No.
I see.
No. That was like a little $50 Android phone that went with the Obama phones.
Okay.
They had the newest iPhones and they had iPads and they had their cable, but they couldn't afford to pay their full rent. Make that make sense?
It doesn't. None of it does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to tell you what I heard that'll really disgust you. But in El Paso, Texas, guess what they're giving illegals?
I have no idea at this point. Tell me it's not guns.
No, but they're giving them vouchers to wash their clothes.
Really?
To go to the laundromat. Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am, they are.
I grew up that if our washer or dryer went down, we washed our shit in the bathtub and then hung it up to dry. We didn't go to laundromats. We couldn't afford laundromats sometimes. But really? They're giving them?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and some other, like a coupon book of other things that we're trying to get our hands on. So, yeah.
I'm not okay with that.
Right.
I really don't like it. I'm not fond of it. At all. But, hey, that's the future voting base for the Democrats if this ID law doesn't pass.
Exactly.
Art says, I don't think voting by mail should be allowed except for members of the military or foreign service, State Department officials. And I can understand people, like in my case, with disability, but like this last election, I just had someone push me around in a wheelchair. Sometimes I can pull it off, other days I can't. Right. And It's like, it's nice to have an option that, let's say I'm having a bad flare up, I can't move this day, or, I know this is coming up, I'm going to be really busy, or I'm going to be really sore from all these appointments, let me just do a mail-in. But I have to jump through hoops proving my disability to do a mail-in in my state. So, there's that as well. You don't just get to say, I want a mail-in ballot because I'm lazy. No, my state, you actually have to send in proof, medical records, or something stating you're disabled. Like my paperwork to get out of jury duty. I'd have to have a doctor sign a paper for it.
Right. I had to do the same thing.
Yeah. I don't think it should just be willy-nilly. Oh, we're just going to send out all these ballots and hope someone fills them out and sends them back. And not give a shit whose name is on it and who's written it out and signed it and filled it out and all that. No, I'm sorry. That shit's got to stop.
Most definitely.
All right. Let me hit play.
Repeatedly call voter ID Jim Crow 2.0, even though 3/4 of black voters could show an ID to vote. Right. Polling. House Democrat Jamie Raskin says married women are too stupid to figure out how to vote once they get hitched. That's actually what he believes. Take a listen to Cut 5.
What's wrong with the SAVE Act? What's wrong with it is that it might violate the 19th Amendment, which gives women the right to vote, because you've got to show that all of your different IDs match. So if you're a woman who's gotten married and you've changed your name to your husband's name, but so now your current name is different from your name at birth, now you've got to go ahead and document that.
It's not that complicated.
Understand something that Jamie
Just get an
Raskin,
ID and you're good.
literally think you are too stupid to figure out how to vote because you got married. It is how little the Party of Women thinks of you. Here's California Senator Adam Schiff. Can't do anything other than just repeat the same old talking points. Here's Cut 3.
71% of Democrats favor requiring photo ID. Is that something that you can support? And if not, why not?
It's still going to be something, Jonathan. It's still going to be something that disenfranchises people that don't have the proper real ID, driver's license ID, that don't have the ID necessary to vote, even though they are citizens.
None of them will.
And this is where those dumb idiots on Facebook you were talking about get their talking points.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, it's very clear. They don't have a logical reason why it's stupid, but if you want to drive, you have to present these forms to get a real ID to drive, and since 2008, they've been requiring you to track your name changes in order to get a updated ID or change even your address on your ID. You have to present everything again, not just an address change. So why is it a big deal? I don't get this. I will hold to that it is so stupid that they're making a big deal out of this when it's been in place since 2008.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense. These people are stupid.
Will answer the simplest question imaginable. Good. Only U.S. citizens in U.S. elections. Because once you say yes, their argument collapses. Here's the reality that Democrats don't get. Voter ID is overwhelmingly popular with the American people. Republicans, independents, Democrats, black voters, Hispanic voters, white voters, men, women. Everybody is for it. 83% of Americans want voter ID. So when Democrats say voter ID is Jim Crow 2.0, they're going against another 80-20 issue in America, and they're going against African-American voters, going against Hispanic voters, and they're essentially arguing that most Americans are racist. Really sort of offensive, if you ask me, dishonest and elitist. Jim Crow was about excluding people because of race. Voter ID is about including only eligible voters. Why do we need the SAVE Act? This is not a hypothetical question. In Alabama, state officials recently discovered thousands of illegal aliens who had somehow registered to vote. Thousands of illegal aliens on the voter rolls. Take a listen to this news story. Cut 15.
3,000 registered voters in Alabama just got booted from the state voter rolls. That's after the Secretary of State, Wes Allen, ordered the removal of all non-citizens who were registered. But how did non-citizens get registered in the first place? WAFF 48's Nick Ballinger spoke to the Secretary of State to get to the bottom of this story. Nick?
Yeah, Margo, when I asked Secretary Allen how these people got registered to vote in the first place, he couldn't give me a clear answer just yet, saying it was still being investigated. When he gave me a breakdown of how many there were in each county, the numbers were glaring. This is a list from Secretary of State Wes Allen of how many non-citizens were registered to vote in the counties. The state found 3,251 people. 742 of them were from North Alabama.
We got the information. We cross-checked it against our centralized data file here in the state of Alabama and found those 3,200 individuals.
The information he's talking about are people with alien registration numbers. Those are issued to immigrants who intend to live in this country permanently and have already applied for a green card. However, you're not eligible to vote with just an alien identification number. When I asked Allen how 3,000 plus were able to register in the first place, he couldn't give me the answer.
But it's our belief that only American citizens should be allowed to vote. Non-citizens, whether they're legal or illegal immigrants, cannot register to vote. It's a federal offense.
Vote here.
Now, Democrats would respond and say, well, just because they were registered, I mean, they voted. But here's the point. If thousands of ineligible people are registered to vote, doesn't that tell you that the system is broken? Save America Act says
very broken.
Require ID to vote, clean up the voter rolls, and prevent problems before elections, not after. That's not voter suppression. That's basic system maintenance. Now let's talk a little about hypocrisy, because this is where Democrats completely give themselves away. Meet Senator Jon Ossoff of Georgia. Jon Ossoff, like most Democrats, opposes voter ID. He opposes the Save America Act. He says ID requirements are discriminatory. But at his own campaign events, new reporting has revealed, Jon Ossoff requires government-issued photo ID to get inside.
Oh my God, make that shit make sense. Oh my God, make that shit make sense. That's like Zohran Mamdani's bullshit. Oh, you don't need an ID to vote, but you need an ID to shovel snow for the city.
Right.
Motherfuckers, really? Make this make sense. I'm sorry, I like simple logic. Hell, I like complex logic. I'll even listen to people with their wild conspiracy theories trying to find a logical path to the point to point, okay? But this makes no sense. You want to come to my rallies, show your ID, but you don't need to show your ID to vote. Dude, you're an idiot.
Correct.
You're a hypocrite. I know, darling. I know I'm talking too loud. I'm sorry. Text you the internet password. Okay, can you wait about 20 more minutes? Okay. Sorry. Family. But, oh my God, these people are stupid. I think... I'm glad I don't live in some of these areas. I mean, I have an idiot governor, but at least the locals... I mean, like, even my town, it seems to be a Democrat, I believe it's a Democrat mayor for my town, but he's not insane. He's actually been doing really good about building up the businesses in our town, growing it, so it's not so small anymore. And we're bringing in industry, bringing in housing, bringing in all kinds of stuff to make our town grow. And... I mean, we still can't get my daughter a job, but my son got hired, and he's doing great. So, you know, we're just going to keep trying with my daughter until we eventually get there. It's hard to get that first job sometimes. But, I mean, at least my small little city's growing. Well, it was a small town, like I said, but now they're trying to expand it way out, so. But, yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job and being reasonable in it. And again, our taxes are not insane. I mean, I think I told you it was like, what, 500 something a year for in-town property tax on this place.
Right.
It's not horrible. Like, I can live with that. So,
I hear you.
all right. There's a couple more seconds, about a minute left of this with Scott Jennings. So let's get through it. And then we can make fun of the idiot hypocrisy some more if we want to.
Let that sink in. You need ID to hear John Ossoff speak. John Ossoff says you don't need ID to show up and vote. If ID is good enough to protect John Ossoff's campaign events, isn't it good enough to protect American elections? This tells you everything, folks. This isn't about racism or suppression or anything else. It's about power. Democrats don't oppose voter ID because it's unfair. They oppose it because it threatens an electoral advantage built on chaos, confusion, and sloppy systems.
Yep.
Save America Act should pass today. It's common sense, and the American people know it.
Well, past Congress, it's stuck in the Senate.
Of course. That makes sense. And Art,
John Thune.
I lived by Detroit. I lived in Michigan. I know how stupid it can get. I've seen stupid. It gets bad. But yeah, I honestly, we need to revamp the Senate. The Senate is full of corrupt the corrupt right-wing idiots. I will learn to talk yet, I promise. The corruption needs to be weeded out. I mean, it's slowly dying off. They're finally dying of old age. But it's still, you know... I mean, Nancy Pelosi was the only one, I think, who's retired. I mean, Biden failed so far upwards, he got to retire as president, if it was actually him. There's a rumor that he actually died in 2019, and somebody else they had like an AI bot or something of him.
Yeah, yep.
It's just insane.
I heard they swapped them out, actually.
Yeah. It's like, okay. Whatever you guys say, I just laugh at it. But I have no problem with voter ID. And I've always had to present some form of voter ID, whether it was that little paper slip from the Secretary of State in Michigan that says, yep, this person lives at this address and they're allowed to vote, or just presenting my driver's license. I mean, I've always had to present some form of ID.
Again, common sense. Common sense.
It's like...
How hard is it?
Yeah, they'll look at the little voter ID card, and then they look at your driver's license. Yup, they match. Here's your ballot. Go have fun.
Right. Yep.
I mean, like... It's been this way for a very long time. Why are people having a fit now? Other than to put on a show.
The right wants to... Well, that, and if it would pass, it will make cheating just a little bit more difficult. But I'm sure they'll figure something out. They always do.
They always do. Well, that's why they have the people registering to vote as they're getting their ID, and that very confusing prompt thing that both my kids and I have had to go through. Yeah.
And I just went through. Yeah, same thing.
But luckily my kids have reading comprehension skills beyond the average person, so they don't get confused.
Right. But when you have foreigners there and you have the state aid going, do you want to register to vote? Press 1 for yes, 2 for no.
And that's even what Art was saying. The motor voter registration is a real issue. He's saying, are you legal? Anyone can just push yes or no. Did anyone bother checking it?
Nope. Well, I guess, I don't know, supposedly when they go to register for their driver's license, they check the legality. I don't know.
Well, I mean, my daughter had to, both my kids had to provide a birth certificate, proof of address, and a secondary photo ID from work or school or something.
Right.
So Yeah, they brought all that proof in to prove they were American citizens, so they had the right to vote yes or no. But does anyone check that the person who pushed yes or no is accurate? Like, oh, this person's not really an American citizen. Oh, well, I can't do nothing about it. Well, let's continue anyways.
Right. And I told you the first time I was there, when I found out I needed the triple seal.
I still don't know what that. I mean, we know what it means, but it's
I
like
still
I
haven't
want to
gotten it in
see
the
it.
mail yet. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'd
still
like to
haven't
see
gotten
it.
it yet. Yeah, I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay.
So, uh, the day that I was there for the triple seal, I'm telling you, the majority of people in there were foreigner.
I can believe it. We get that here too. A lot of Hispanics, and again, I'm not.
These weren't even Hispanics. There were languages. I have no clue. No clue whatsoever.
I know I see a lot of Hispanics in my area, but I also in Michigan, I used to see all parts of Asia, parts of the Middle East, parts of everywhere from the world when I lived just north of Detroit. So, for me, I used to seeing people there, most of them legally, probably a few not, but I can't tell just by looking at them who's legal and not. I mean, I mean, that'd be like, we assume that because you and I were born here, we're legally here, but we've found out that there are people who've been in America since they were a few months old, and their parents lied on some paperwork, and it turns out they're not American after all.
Correct.
So,
right.
Yeah, they didn't know it. We can't tell by looking at them, or, I mean, even still listening to people's accents. I guarantee there are people with a lot of bizarre accents just because their parents came here or they're third generation and it's still spoken language in the home. I guarantee if my family continued the languages that they immigrated with, I'd have an accent far beyond the South.
Right. We had that discussion about the North and the South, the difference in the dialects and
Yeah.
language and what you can and can't understand. And
Yep. And sometimes you think you're talking a different language.
Right. Exactly.
Or it says, I'm in rural nowhere, and the ER is about 1/4 to 1/2 non-white people. Don't know, but makes you wonder. Yeah, I mean, I'm in literally middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and I've seen Filipino people, I've seen Pakistani or Indian, I've seen some Middle Easterners in our area. I have seen people from South America, various further South America, not Mexico, but I'm talking like Ecuador, Honduras, further south. In our area, and even the slightly different tonal speech in the Spanish can make a difference in where they're from. And as much as my daughter gets mad at me for putting in a good guess at where some of these people might have originated or their parents originated from, I enjoy looking at people and guessing genealogy. I think it's fun. I'm not trying to stereotype them. I like it as a challenge. And then once I get to know them or something and I get talking to them, I can find out for sure whether I was right or wrong.
Right.
It's a little thing I do in my head. Doesn't mean they're illegal. Like I said, the guy at the smoker shop down the road that we go to, it could be Pakistani, could be Indian of some sort, could even be Bengali. And heaven forbid you actually address them the wrong way. One of those three, they are all very offensive. They get very offended if you mistakenly call them the wrong one, between Pakistan, India, and Bangladesh. Like, do not mix those three up. They will very, very rudely correct you. And it's like, yeah. So it's best to get to know them instead of directly assuming from them. But yeah, it's fun. I gotta love it. But my little hick town is very diversified in that way. So, but 20 years ago, it wasn't. When my kids were first born down here, you didn't see all of that. You'd see your South Americans and your Hispanics from Mexico and all that, and even Puerto Ricans here for migrant work. But you didn't see the other nations that are now here.
Right.
And I don't know how the hell they found us, because we are literally barely a speck on the map.
All right. Do we got time for one more thing?
I think we might be able to cover this. I believe it's relatively short. It's only 58 seconds. Carolyn Levitt holds a press briefing about the Vatican rejecting its invitation to the Gaza Peace Board.
Okay.
This is brief.
Thank you, Caroline. The Vatican announced earlier today that they would not be joining the Board of Peace initiatives over concerns that it could potentially compete with the United Nations over handling crisis conflicts. What's the White House's response to that?
Yeah, look, we saw that. I think it's deeply unfortunate. I don't think that peace should be partisan or political or controversial. And of course, the administration wants all those who were invited to join the Board of Peace to join. Because again, the Board of Peace is overseeing the reconstruction of a territory that has been plagued with violence, with bloodshed, with poverty for far too long. And this president has a very bold and ambitious plan and vision to rebuild and reconstruct Gaza, which is well underway because of the Board of Peace. This is a legitimate organization where there are tens of member countries from around the world, and we think that's an unfortunate decision.
Okay, what's interesting about this is because this came out before Iran got its ass kicked for the second time by us in 40 years.
Right.
On such a level. And I mean, we whooped them. Again, Reagan level whooping that they got last time. So has the Vatican maybe changed its stance since then? I'm curious.
Why would they?
Oh, they probably wouldn't, but they should. Now that it's not going to be just Iran lobbing, well, as soon as they get Iran to stop lobbing missiles at everybody in a few weeks, it'll be pretty much calmed down. And I wouldn't mind seeing it like it was like pre-1980, the pre-1980 Middle East that was relatively peaceful. I mean, they had their little issues, but it wasn't like they were just trying to wipe each other off the map. I mean, other than everyone hated Israel, that's not going to change anytime soon, but still. I mean, to see at least the Arab nations getting along better. I don't know. I wonder if the Vatican would change their stance now that things are going to die down a little bit.
Yeah, I just viewed this as him dissing Trump over the UN.
So you think the Vatican's
Trump,
just going to fall in line with what the UN wants?
Uh-huh. That's what I think. Yeah.
Even
that's
though they're
how
their
I
own
look
country state.
Correct. That's how well. I mean,
it's funny how they are.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they said. They came out and said that, they felt that there would be, a competition between the Board of Peace and the UN. And so they're looking at the UN to take the lead.
Why would it be a competition?
I don't know.
We're all trying to work for peace, and the UN is just like, hey, let them all move in and destroy our countries. Except the Vatican, their walls are very solid and sealed. But the rest of us should have to, bring all these refugees and people in, but not them. So why does it matter? Right. They're a religious organization. I can see why Trump would want them brought out on a religious aspect, not as much of a political aspect, but to represent other Catholics who may live in the area that maybe have survived the genocide against the Christian-based religions that's been going on there. There might still be some in hiding that want to be represented. I can see a reason for it, but You know, if they're going to be stuck up like that and turn their nose up at an option, at an opportunity to help the people of the Middle East find Christ, well, you know, that's a them problem at that point.
Right.
I just don't like it. I think they should be taking advantage to help, you know, if they want to convert people out of Islam to Christianity. I mean, that might be a good time to do it.
Right.
So, you want to call it a day with 5 minutes to spare?
Yeah, why don't we? I have
Okay.
phones to activate.
Yeah, you sound tired too. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
So, yeah, I think it's a good time to call it a day, and we could pick up more later.
All right, so we will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Thank you for joining Rex Sisters. Please don't forget to like, follow, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you all tomorrow.
I'm going to tell y'all to stay safe, stay sane, stay sober, and we will catch y'all on the next one. I'm just going to drop these most recent links into there, and then we will do the nod smile and see y'all on the next one. So,
good night.
Have a good night, folks.